Welcome back, everyone. This is Ultimate Academy's team presenting ONYX Financial Track. We're still on the inventory inputs topic, and in this lecture, we will cover 8 screens. Let's start with item location. This screen is to determine the location of each item, in which warehouse and on which shelf exactly. There are several ways to use this screen. We will go through each one of them. First of all, you can enter the location information using an Excel sheet. That's from the first section in the screen. The system, by the way, gives you hints or tips on how to create that Excel sheet. You can also add the location for a bunch of items all together from the middle section. To do that, you will click on Add and then press F9 in the group field to view the main stock groups. From item code and to item code, in both of these fields, you will also hit F9 and select the number of the items from the group that we selected in the field before it. So we're specifying that the items will be from the main group that we have selected. Alright, so from warehouse number to warehouse number, same idea, but here we're confining the number of the warehouse, or basically we're determining exact warehouses that we will be selecting from. From bin location number to bin location number, here we're specifying the shelves. And then we have display method, either item code, item name, warehouse number, or bin location. We click on fill items, so the data we entered at the top would get transferred to the table. And in case we want to add the items from incoming stock or purchase invoice, purchase orders, purchase requests, warehouse transfer, or warehouse receiving, we will use install from. After you make your choice or preference, we will enter the document number in the field. And after you do that, you will click on fill item, and the system will retrieve the list of these items that we chose basically, and put it in this table. Then of course it will link it to the shelves and the warehouses that we will add in from warehouse number and bin location. Alright, so there is also another way to use this screen by adding each item individually in a specific warehouse and on a specific shelf. To do that, you will click on item code, press F9, and when you select the item code and name, and the measurement unit will appear automatically. Then in warehouse number and bin location, we will press F9 and select the warehouse and bin location. Next screen is connect item with accessories. Clearly from the title, we know what the screen does, and that it's basically to link the items with any relevant accessories. You can either create that link manually or automatically using one of these options. If it's manual, then we will deal with the table below by selecting the item code from the left. Then we will select the accessory from the right. But if you want to go about this automatically, then you will activate the variable automatic. Then you will fill in from group number to group number, from item code to item code, from accessories number to accessories number. And that's everything for this screen. We will move on to the next one, which is connect items by types of tax. We use the screen to link the items with the applicable taxes according, of course, to the law. Next screen is items evaluation. Here we will evaluate our items, and if you remember, we have set up the levels of evaluation previously. To evaluate an item, you need to click on Add first, and in the table on the right, you will be able to see the evaluation criteria. Next to each criteria, there's this checkbox that we can use to specify the criteria exactly that the evaluation will be based on. So if we check, for example, turnover ratio, then it will move to the table and it will be part of the evaluation process for this item. But if we uncheck it, then we're basically not considering the turnover ratio in our evaluation for this item. So we're excluding that from the evaluation process. Alright, so then we will fill in the fields from item to item, from group code to group code. measurement units, and here in the drop-down menu, the user will find all of the units that they've added previously. We'll fill in item type as well from the drop-down menu, from date to date, then click on criteria calculation, and the system will automatically bring up the evaluation based, of course, on all the data and the information that you just selected. We'll move on to the next screen, which is price modification request. The screen does exactly what the title says. We click on add. The system gives you the number of the request, the date, and the branch. And by the way, the system here selects the branch based on the branch that you've selected when you're first logging into the system. Then we have reference number in case you want to document that. Description field where you can add any notes or remarks. In the table, we will put in the item code by pressing F9 in the field. And when we select the item, we'll be able to see the item name, unit, pricing level, level name, and previous price. The user, however, will need to enter the suggested price and description. Then there is a checkbox approved. If we tick it, then the suggested price will be approved. It will be the default. But if we do not want to use the suggested price, then we can put in the price that we want to use actually in the approved price field, and then you will fill in the approved description. The system also will show you the name of the user who approved this price and the date that this price was approved. Next screen is item pricing. Through the screen, we can add prices for the items either manually or automatically. The user can either create a price for a group of items automatically by filling in the upper two sections. Then they'll click process and the system will automatically fill in the table below, or in case you would like to create the prices manually, you will select the item from item code by pressing F9, and then you will fill in the rest of the fields based on, of course, the company policy. Next screen is stock opening balance. So this one as well can be used either manually or automatically. If it's manual, then we will add the data in the lower table. And if it's automatic, then we will enter the data in the upper section and the system will fill in the table automatically. The final screen is connect inventory accounts with general ledger. When we click on add, we determine the group code from the drop-down menu. By the way, by group here, we mean the main group. Then we put in the inventory account, and that's going to be the main inventory account. In inventory account field, we will hit F9 or click on the arrow to bring up a window which contains the chart of accounts. Then we can select the inventory account. These two fields, by the way, are mandatory. Then we will fill in the rest of the fields which are related to the accounts exactly the same way. Of course, don't forget to save and you're all set. Alright, so that is all for this lecture. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook. And we will see you again in the upcoming lecture.